Happy Thursday and welcome to, welcome to my little world. So come on in for just a moment. I'm glad you're with me. We share a few thoughts together. I haven't lost my mind completely. Just sometimes I misplace part of it. In all seriousness, glad you're with me today. It is another gorgeous summer day as we wind down to the latter days of August, coming near the end of the month. Isn't that something? Labor Day staring us in the face. Why do we call it Labor Day if we take off on that day? Oh, I know. Yeah. Another story altogether. Anyway, glad you're with me today. And I'll try not to get too distracted in these things today, but come on in. Come on into my little world for a moment. You know, there was a fellow by the name of Philip who had become a follower of Jesus, excited about it, realized he had to be the Messiah, had to be the promised one, went and found his friend Nathanael and said, you know, we found him, the one that the prophets of old have told about. It's Jesus of Nazareth. There towards the end of John chapter 1, Nathanael responds to Philip. When realizing it's this Jesus of Nazareth, he said, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Kind of reminds us that we get perspectives on things. A little bit later, that same Nathanael was claiming Jesus to truly be the one. But initial perspectives. Sometimes we put people in pigeonholes. Sometimes we associate them in certain ways and we say, that's just the way it is. Well, something caught my attention this morning. When I was reading through the newspaper or online, when I was reading an article in the newspaper, I was going down and I came across one that got my attention. It said that Herschel Walker was running for the Senate seat in Georgia. Now, you may have already known that. It may not be no surprise to you, but I got to tell you, it kind of caught my attention. I thought, really? I remember when Herschel Walker was the Heisman Trophy winner. I remember when he was drafted. I remember when he went to the USFL. I remember when he came to the Cowboys. I remember when he went to some other teams with, I believe, the New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings, and finally finished his career with the Dallas Cowboys. He's 59 years old. 59 years old, if I've got it right. He's 59 years old. But you know, he appears to be in top physical condition. Recent president put him on the physical fitness committee, made him one of those spokesmen for physical fitness in this country. He's done some other things besides playing football, but you know, when I think about it, I don't think about him being an MMR or some other sport that he was involved in. I think about that football player. I think about the Heisman Trophy winner. I think about the guy that's in the Hall of Fame. When I picture him, I see that young man who could run the field, was sleek, powerful, an amazingly physically fit individual, and he looked so good. And he was truly good. I don't know that you'd say he's the best that ever played the game, but I'd say he's one of those top-notch guys that came through, and he still looks like a physical specimen today at nearly 60 years of age. And I think about a guy like that, and where do we associate him? Well, he's a football player. Just a dumb jock. And I don't know that much about him. I don't know that much about his intelligence. I don't know that much about his life. I really haven't been interested, and for years I haven't kept up with him. I haven't read much about him, haven't thought much about him. So if somebody said Herschel Walker, I thought, yeah, and I would have pictured him probably in the Dallas Cowboys uniform. Maybe Georgia Bulldogs, but not being a fan of the Georgia Bulldogs. Anyway, Herschel Walker was a football player. And when you categorize somebody that way, it's hard to see him beyond that. And so when I pick up the newspaper and I begin to read, here's a fellow that's running for office. He's a conservative individual. He's an unusual character, being a black man and yet in the Republican Party. Now, I don't care about his politics so much, and I don't know that much about his politics. That's not what this is about. So don't get lost in all of that. What I'm thinking about is the way we tend to want to pigeonhole people. We tend to want to make them into something and limit them to that. That wherever he is, whatever he does, Herschel Walker is a football player. But maybe there's more. I think we do that to ourselves and to one another sometimes. We draw lines and we determine that that's where we are or that's where somebody else is. And we associate them exactly that way. Could we be more? Could that person be more? What I guess I want to encourage you in thinking about today is don't let the perception of others pigeonhole you. I don't know why Nathaniel looked at it that way when he said, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Maybe he just thought, here's a small town up in Galilee. Can anything really good come out of a place like that? You may not know the name of Wilbur Mills, but he came out of Kensett, Arkansas. You'd pass the town by and not even know it's there. Jimmy Carter became president of the United States from Plains, Georgia. Isn't it something? Now, you may not like either one of those guys when they were in politics. I don't care. That's not the point. But when we begin to allow perception to limit what we're going to be or what we're going to do, we just kind of draw in the possibilities and close out so many others. I don't know that Herschel Walker will win. He might not. I don't know what kind of things he would stand for, what his positions would be. That's not the point. But that he would even take on the opportunity to run for this political office, to run for a Senate seat. Says maybe there's more in his ambition, more in his ideas than just a guy that used to play football. I think we draw ourselves too short. We draw ourselves too limited. We hem ourselves in when we let perception determine what we're going to be and what we're going to do. We may not always get to do the things that we dream about. We may not always get the opportunity to accomplish what some goal in the back of our heart or mind might be. But why should we limit ourselves just because somebody saw us in a certain way? Or that's the way we used to be. Think big. Think broad. See the thing that you could be or could do. See the possibility and grab hold of it. Whether you fully accomplish it or not is not the matter of importance. But that you genuinely give yourself to what could be, may be, and who knows, maybe will be. Maybe that's the better pursuit of it all. You know, I remember from the movie The Natural when the question was out there, after you were done playing baseball, what would you do? He said, well, I'd look back on a great career. Is that the end of it? Is that the end of it? Why not look forward to something else along the way? My friend, whether you're 8 or 80, or whatever age you might be thinking about what you might yet be, might yet do, might yet accomplish. There's no telling what might still lie in the road ahead. Who knows? Herschel Walker might be in the Senate. You just never know when an old football player might accomplish something new. Hey, I'm glad you were with me today. I hope we got more things to share down the road. Who knows? We might have something good yet to do and to see. We'll just keep our options open and not let perception hold us back. I hope it's a great day for you. I hope it's a blessing to you, and I hope you can be a blessing wherever you are. And thanks for being with me today, and we'll share some more things a little further down the road, Lord willing.